With every breath, a promise to rise. Together we chase the limitless skies. Galvanize the world, feel the mold of my life. Every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity. Galvanize the world, feel the light. With every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity.
Well, hello, Galvanators. Byron Belka here, and I love it, that intro. I love built on in trust and in integrity. The last sentence of that little song, that intro, it's so true with what we're doing here and being able to build this powerful opportunity on blockchain, on the most trusted technology there's ever been in the history of the world. I want you to think about that. And as you're getting on and thinking about all the things that we could be doing, all the things that we could be building, it's so important to know that what we're doing here, out of all of the options and all of the things that are in the marketplace that have ever been kind of in the history of the world, this is the most trusted, safe, and secure technology that has ever existed. So if we're going to be putting energy and effort into something, don't you want to put it into something that can be trusted unlike anything else? It's so powerful. And so I'm excited to have you all on the call today, whether you're tuning in live on any of our social media platforms where we're streaming, or whether you're watching this, as we have a lot of people do after the fact. Welcome to our weekly call. Thanks for participating, plugging in, seeing what's going on in the Galvan community, as we always try to give you tips, ideas, and things that you can utilize in making your life better, in being able to help others join our community and make their lives better through the process. And just love being on here week after week and just being a part of this amazing community. And we've got a great call lined up for you today. We're going to hear some great information as we go through the different aspects of Galvan. But we're going to start off, as we love to do, with Dr. Adam Sharp, and we're grateful to have him, his leadership, what he's doing, taking his talent, his ability. I mean, he's probably spent more years in school than most. And I love that out of all of that, he's out trying to do and make a difference. It's going to affect even more people on a global scale. And so, Dr. Sharp, thanks for being here. Thanks for your leadership. And we're going to turn the time over to you.
Thank you, Byron. You are too kind, but I am glad to be here today and excited about this topic in particular. And I'm excited to also welcome our guest, Mr. Blake Williams Sr. We're really excited about him, and we'll turn some time over to him shortly. But as I think about the things that might be helpful for our community and really for our friends and the world, I've been thinking a lot. I think a lot often about the placebo effect and the power of belief, and how that is an amazingly good thing in some regards, and it can also cause us to believe in things that might actually be tangibly detrimental to our health. And so I'm going to talk just a little bit about that. And hopefully it will leave you a little more empowered to make the decisions that will help you to be your best self as you use the Galvan blockchain and the EYES rewards and G+ in order to reward yourself for being healthy. So this is a quote that I found that I like. The placebo effect is the body's ability to heal itself, a powerful internal pharmacy activated by belief. Now, there is pretty substantial scientific evidence to substantiate this quote. And I'm going to talk about a few of those things. So everybody has heard of placebos. Often when you hear of placebo, it's when you set up a study and it's something that shouldn't have any sort of impact. And there's different things that they could give you. If it's an intravenous medication, they would just give you the salt water or the normal saline that they use that doesn't have any inherent properties to analgesia or different medications, whatever they're looking at. Or it's a simple pill. You'll hear it called the sugar pill. It's just a little pill that has the substance, but no actual medication in it. So here's the thing. They have looked at the placebo effect in a large variety of different studies. And I'm going to go through a few of these briefly. So pain relief. So if you give somebody a pill, even if it's just nothing more than some dust that can be put into a tablet, and tell somebody this has been given to you, and compare it to an actual opiate that we know provides a medication that blocks our pain receptors, they can have a similar outcome. Placebos, and they've even shown how this can actually release certain hormones in our brain that are the same hormones that cause pain relief amongst medications. A thing that we do in the emergency department, and in fact, when people come in and they may have overdosed on some sort of opiate medication like heroin, we give them a medication that blocks all those receptors and they can wake up. So they were actually able to reverse the placebo effect in pain relief by one of these medications. And so they've done these functional MRI studies where they look at the brain and show that it can release these things and actually have the same effect, whether you're given a placebo or a real medication that impacts some of those things. Amazingly, in Parkinson's disease, a terrible disease, if you've had any family or friends who have this, they've shown by just telling someone by taking this, they can actually increase the dopamine release in their brain. Immune function, it can modulate physiology and help people cold symptoms. It can help actually decrease. They've shown these really interesting studies where they measure your ability to breathe through your nose if you're congested, and a placebo that has no known effect on actually just the belief that that can work can actually decrease the congestion in your nose. And then this really cool study at the bottom about insomnia and sleep. They've told people that come in had the exact same sleep quality. They tell one group, oh, you had really terrible sleep, and have them do a cognitive test. And they say, hey, you had really restful, wonderful sleep. And so you're going to do better because you've done this. Just by telling them something about their sleep, not tangibly changing their sleep at all, actually significantly change their ability to perform on a test. So there is power in what you believe. There is no question. It is proven. And even in the way that it changes some of the release of chemicals, neurochemicals or neurotransmitters in our brain, as well as other hormonal release of medication, of internally developed release of things that can help our health, like dopamine release for Parkinson's disease. So this is truly power, and that's good. This is a real thing. It's why when you study a medication, you can't just give somebody a medication and say, we're going to see if this works, because we know it will work if you give somebody anything and ask them. It has to be studied and tested 2 at a time. One is a placebo and one is the actual medication. And the actual medication has to have a tangible benefit than the placebo, because otherwise it's just our own body creating those effects. Now, here's how this is hard. Sometimes we do something that we think is helping, and just because we believe it, it may actually be helping. So how do we understand the difference? I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the ways that we can use this to our benefit. So the first, some of the what you often will hear it of old wives' tales. I'm not sure where that phrase even came from, old wives' tales. But some of the things that you may have heard about. So one, chicken soup. They have studied chicken soup. Number one, it increases nutrition. So we know that it has a lot of important nutritional benefits. It also helps with hydration because it has a lot of liquid and water in it, and it reduces inflammation. So chicken soup, even, grandmas or moms or dads or whoever makes the chicken soup in your family, it actually has shown to help people to get better. This is one I love, honey. So if you have now kids under 1, they worry about botulism, rare but possible. But any kids typically over 1 who are normal, healthy kids, honey is far better than any medication that you can buy to soothe a throat, and specifically on cough. A lot of the medications, over-the-counter medications for cough, have never been shown to decrease cough. Never. Honey has. So that's an easy one. Ginger, it helps with nausea if you have nausea. If you have eczema or skin problems, oatmeal baths, they can actually help. They have anti-inflammatory properties. And then just gargling with salt water, it actually does reduce inflammation and reduce the bacteria burden in your throat. So these are some science-backed old wives' tales, or things that people may consider to be placebo. These actually have tangible benefit in addition to our belief in these things. Now, here's a couple of things you might want to avoid. Okay, so common myths. Anybody heard this? If you go outside with your hair wet, that's going to make you sick. That is not what makes anybody sick. It is viruses or bacteria or different infections that make you sick. Now, how could this be a problem? Well, some people, they might stay home thinking, I'm not going to get sick because I'm not going to go outside with my hair wet, but they invite a bunch of people over that have been sick, or they invite people over who aren't sick and they get them sick because they think they haven't been outside with their hair wet. So we want to make sure that we have accurate information. Another refrain that you may have heard is that you should starve a fever, meaning don't eat or drink if you have a fever, that'll get you better, and that you feed a cold. So if you don't have a fever but have the other cold symptoms, that is wrong. You should have you shouldn't starve anything if you're sick. You should try to make sure that you have proper nutrition and proper hydration. So don't starve anything if you're sick. Now, another one, cracking your knuckles causes arthritis. Actually not true, been studied. So if you're a knuckle cracker, I don't know that that's good, but it's not going to cause arthritis. Another, have you ever heard that if somebody's sleepwalking, you shouldn't wake them up? You should just try and keep them in that sleepwalk stupor and guide them back to their bed. That's also a fallacy. You can wake somebody up just like waking them up from sleep. They might be a little bit out of it, but there is no reason that you can't wake somebody up that's been sleepwalking. And lastly, eating carrots improves your night vision. Anybody heard that? I've heard that a lot. Now, we know that carrots have carotene. We know that carotene is necessary in order to have appropriate vision. But if you have bad night vision, eating carrots isn't going to change that. And so I bring these up because it's important that we assess and understand the information that we are being given. Some of it, just believing in it might help a little bit, but the reality is it may cause adverse outcomes. It may cause bad things. We don't want people to believe things that are untrue. And so these are common myths that we should avoid as we think about placebo. Now, here's another one. Now, don't get upset. My mom, when I told her this, she was upset with me. My wife is also a strong believer in the multivitamin. So let me tell you this. So daily vitamins, helpful or hype? I've taken multivitamins. I even have a bottle of them in my house right now. It's a $20 billion annual market, just multivitamins. Now, the supplement and other types of vitamins industry is far bigger than 20 billion, but this is just multivitamins that you may see or may have been told to take. Now, a couple objective as we can get in the world, very objective and qualified groups have looked at this and looked at it a lot, actually. The U.S. Preventive Service Task Force, they have no monetary benefit to say yay or nay. And they have found in studying this, there's a lot of data out there. There's no evidence that multivitamins prevent cancer, prevent heart disease, or prevent early death in healthy adults. Similarly, if you're familiar, I may have talked about Cochrane reviews before. Cochrane reviews and our meta-analyses. So they take they combine all the studies that can be found in the universe, and they put them all together, and they make sure that they're similar and that we can compare apples to apples to see what's been found. And again, no strong evidence that daily vitamins actually reduce any of the things that they care to reduce, like chronic diseases, as long as people eat a generally balanced diet. So now, I'm not saying that vitamins are not good. We know that we need essential vitamins, but here's what, and there are certain populations, certain people who may benefit from a vitamin. And here's a few of those groups. So, I lost some of my things on this slide, but if you're pregnant, folic acid has been proven time and time again to help to prevent some of the unfortunate developmental problems of the children in the pregnant mothers. So folic acid is a wonderful vitamin that should be taken by pregnant mothers. Older adults, we know that vitamin D and calcium are nutrients that may be in short supply for older people. So they may be something that you want to supplement. And for people who don't eat meat, if you're vegan and don't eat any animal products, we know B12 can be a problem. And so you may need to supplement that. And then if you know that you have any certain chronic condition that may reduce the essential nutrients or vitamins that we need, you may need to supplement those. Or if somebody has a GI thing that makes it hard to digest normal nutrients, that's something to keep in mind. So bottom line is make sure that you eat a well-rounded, nutritious diet. And if you want to save some money on multivitamins and you don't have any reason to believe that you're deficient in anything, go ahead and skip the multivitamins and just keep eating a well-rounded, healthy diet. So this is my summary slide. Faith and knowledge combined, I believe, are what help most. Our belief is undoubtedly powerful, backed not only by what you might believe, but by science. And so we should believe in the things and our actions that we are doing in order to be healthy. However, some placebos, some things that maybe family and loved ones may have told us may not be true. So educate yourself. Don't continue to believe that your hair wet and going outside is what actually causes infectious diseases. We know better these days. And also know many of those passed along grandma's remedies, they work. Honey for cough, it is great. Ginger for nausea. And then we all love chicken soup when we're under the weather and not feeling well, and it has some tangible benefits for us. And last, don't waste your money on ineffective vitamins or supplements or other things that somebody may have a good reason that they want you to buy it because they make some money on it. Make sure that it's something that's going to actually benefit you. So lastly here, I like this quote: belief and expectation are the key ingredients of the placebo effect, and they can help even when we know they're placebos. So even if you know that what you're doing is not necessarily medication, a belief that you can have the power in your hands to be better has been shown time and time again, gives your body the power and the belief that it needs in order to heal. So with that, it is a perfect transition for us to welcome Robert the Beloved and our prized guest. So Blake Williams Sr., I'm going to add them to the stage. And then I just want to introduce him. I had the good fortune of meeting him in Las Vegas at an event not too long ago. And I'll let him share his story. But in talking to him, if you're on any of the challenges, we've all been chasing Blake. In fact, we thought that G Plus wasn't working right. We're like, how is he doing this? And we're going to let him share a little bit about what he does each day to get his heart minutes. But thank you for being here, Blake. We love you. We're grateful for you being a part of our community and spreading the good word. And I will pass the time now to you and Robert to share a little bit more.
Thanks,
you, Doc. Thanks, Adam. This is great. So yeah, if you've been on G Plus, you can find Blake under the display name of Blake Sr. Currently, he is, and he would know this because he's a kind of a competitive sort. He is number 5 on the all-time heart minutes, and he has been moving up the path. So, Blake, just to moderate this a smidgen, how did you find out about Galvan? How did you get onto the Galvan train?
Believe it or not, it was introduced to me by Dr. Estelle, Tawana Estelle, our group leader. She presented it to our group to learn each platform. And I was assigned the Galvan platform to learn everything about Galvan. And it drew my attention because I lost my daughter back in 2008. And to this day, we still don't know what caused her demise. And so I was studying Galvan. I said, you know what, this would have been great back then. She would have got pre-diagnosed, or it gave us a sign that something was going on, and she probably could have prevented her from going through what she went through. And so that drew my attention. That was the initial phase of it. So I was assigned Galvan by Dr. Estelle. And once I get in something, I get into it. And once I start studying it, and my brother also is a surgeon. So I would ask him questions, and I wanted to see how it works and if it really is going to do what they say it's going to do. And so that's how I got involved. And I subscribed in July of last year. So it's been a year because I just renewed my subscription. And been involved since. And for the first maybe 2 or 3 months, with learning how to sync and learning everything about it, got into it. Was trying to figure out how I kept falling behind in my heart rate because I was way behind everybody. And I couldn't believe that. I said, I don't know why I can't catch up, why I can't get my heart rate up. So I just came up with my own method and I figured out how to do it and start doing it. And I kept getting this, long story short, I kept getting this signal of stress. I said, I'm never stressful. I exercise, I work out, so I never have a stress problem. But it kept telling me I had stress. So I do the exercise that the Galvan app tells me to do. I'm doing the stress exercise, and I'm still ignoring the sign because it did it like 3 or 4 days in a row. I said, I feel fine. And one night I was asleep. I got up maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in pain, and was rushed to the emergency room. And then lo and behold, something was wrong. But the Galvan app kept telling me something was wrong. I just figured it was off because I'm never sick. I don't get sick. But something was off in my body, and the doctor told me what was going on. And that was the beginning of me starting to try to pay attention to what it's telling me. And
so you're telling me, you're saying that you've been doing your wellness checks, they were all good, and then suddenly the stress portion of the wellness check kind of bottomed out to you, and you're wondering why.
I figured, it'd be a new app. I said, figured it had a little malfunction. Something was wrong with it. So nothing can't be wrong with me. I'm healthy, feeling good. So I come to find out the Galvan app was telling me something was wrong for me to go get checked out. And I did. And the strange part about it, I came home after they treated me and relieved the pain. I started back doing everything fine again. And maybe 2 months later, it started doing it again. I said, okay, now something must be wrong. But this time I listened. I went and got checked out, come to find out something was wrong. So the first situation caused the second situation. And so I got treated for it, mild treatment. And maybe 3-4 months later, this past April, beginning of April, the stress started building up again. And this time I asked to do a full diagnostic on my body, find out what was going on. And I wound up having some surgeries and some other stuff. But each time the stress level was up, something was wrong with my inside. Something was going on. Because I don't like going to the doctor. I always feel I'm healthy, but I ignore certain things. I don't know if that's most men, but I ignore certain silly stuff. I thought, hey, that's okay. But come to find out, I'm at an age where I can't ignore when something is going on. So Galvan has really saved me. The last treatment now, it changed my lifestyle.
And so basically, Galvan gave you some warning signs, right? Mm-hmm. And strike 2, you started to heed those warning signs. Mm-hmm. And now what you've done is you've actually created a path so that you don't have those warning signs again. You've changed your lifestyle. Well, what's the new Blake look like?
I got to admit, it was my daughter, because she said she never saw me in a hospital. And when I was in the hospital, she said, you have to change your whole lifestyle. Because I kept going back to doing what I was doing, which was causing the stress. So I had to change my diet. So now I'm doing smoothies and doing healthy habits. And I even add a different routine to my workout method. I get up 4 o'clock in the morning, I walk my dog. That's part of my exercise, part of my heartbeat. I give him a nice walk. Then I come home, I have an exercise routine. I have an elliptica, I have a treadmill, and I have a bike. So I spend 2 or 3 hours working out doing that. And then when I'm at my desk, I have one of those manual ellipticas. And I just keep my bloodstream moving in my legs. So I keep that going. And then I have a midday workout. And then I have an evening workout to settle my body down. So when I go to sleep, I sleep good at night. So that's my routine. So I'm on no more carbs and sugar and all of that. I'm cutting that out. Except on weekends, she'll allow me to every now and then treat myself. I had to cut out all the fatty foods and all of that stuff. Because I thought, a little bit here or there never hurt no one, but a little bit adds up. So I had to change my whole diet and change to a lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle. And so Connect has helped that. Galvan has helped that. Listening to Dr. Sharp and some of the different tips that they give. Going to the back office. Matter of fact, the back office have a lot of different information in it for you to keep up with your health, your medical history, the surgeries that you may have had, keep up with all of that. Feed all that information to the Galvan app, and could help monitors everything for me. So far, thank God, it has changed my lifestyle, and I'm healthy.
So Blake, your day starts at 4:30 with a walk with your dog. Then you come home and you get on your bikes, and you're pedaling away. And then I believe you're an attorney, and you also are involved in insurance as well. So even with those, I'm actually amazed at your positivity. No, just kidding. But but while you're even working, that you've got your little treadmill under your desk, and you're walking around with that thing. Oh, you've actually, it's a little elliptical. You're pedaling.
Yes.
That's awesome. And so how many hours a day are you actually exercising?
Believe this or not, it's right at 12 to 14 hours total. So if you can do that, you can catch me.
I'm good at maybe 3. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good at 3. You have created a new level of fitness in our cycle. We might have to put a new category from a product perspective. You have created new ideas for us. So we might have new categories based on Superman here. So that's awesome.
I'm competitive by nature. When I first started and I checked the heart thing, I was not even in the top 100. And within about 6, 7 months, now I'm in the top 5. So hopefully I'll be at least, they will, the two that's in front of me, D Bolts and somebody else, that D Bishop, I think, they're way up there. I don't know if I can catch them. I may catch them by the end of the year.
But more importantly, Blake, my question is, how do you feel?
I feel great. I'm going back for a follow-up with my physician. Matter of fact, on the 20th, I think, of this month. One of the reasons why I can't make this special trip to Fort Lauderdale, because I have some procedures that I have to go through. Matter of fact, I'm here in New Orleans because of Connect. I did something that Jim Bush bunch pushed us to do during one of our 8-week seminars, the dumping exercise, which caused me to do something that I've been putting off for years. And that helped relieve some of the stress. And I did a stress test today. I had stress yesterday because I had to go before the board on a hearing today. And after I went before the board on the hearing and everything went fine, I did my wellness check and my stress was fine. So I know it's working. So Connect has changed my lifestyle.
So at the end of the day, what's your impressions of Galvan?
I would recommend, matter of fact, to be honest, I bought 10 Galvan subscriptions for my family. 10. And I assigned them my nephews who, young folks, they go through some challenges. And so I'm telling them to monitor what they go through. One of them was going through a depressed state. So I told him about the Galvan. I gave him the Fitbit watch and showed him how to use it to monitor what he's going through. And he's been using it. And I'm trying to introduce you to some other folk. I know my brother is in charge of the health ministry at ministry that he's a part of. And I'm trying to get, matter of fact, we had talked in Las Vegas to the doc about doing a seminar with them to try to talk to the senior citizens about signing up for Galvan. Because I think it's a life changer just to help them monitor what they're going through.
Well, thank you very much. You are a prime example of the reason we are creating Galvan and creating this healthy lifestyle and continuing to add things to it. We appreciate your time and congratulations on winning our challenge. I don't even think it was close.
That's icing on the cake. My life is more important to me, and I thank God for the eyes and all of that. But look, if you ain't give me nothing, I'm happy. I appreciate the fact that you introduced this platform to us, and I'm able to participate, and it really saved my life.
Thank you. You're very kind. We are pleased that you are a Galvanator. With that, thanks everybody and thank you for coming. And then we'll turn the time now over to Casey.
Perfect. I can't catch the people down at the bottom of the leaderboard, so I don't think I can come for you, Blake. You've got me beat. Okay, so I just wanted to go over a couple quick things. Just a reminder, we still have our swap contest going on. There's going to be a drawing each week, so we'll have a drawing here in a little bit that Byron's going to pick a number out of a hat. Be sure that you log into your account and submit your transaction hash. You can do that straight from your Galvan wallet, or you can just email it in from just email support@galvan.health. And we'll get you taken care of. And then another thing I want to show here, let me just share my screen real quick. So again, if you just click on this wallet, you can swap from your Ethereum, USDC, or USDT inside our wallet. And right here, if you just fill out this little widget with your Galvan email, your name, and the transaction hash, you'll get a response from our support team. The other thing that I would like to point out that we've been adding a lot on is if you go to the Galvan website, galvan.health, and click this learn button. This is going to bring up a bunch of our different articles. We are adding new content here pretty much every single day. There's lots of different tips. It can kind of build off of some of the power-ups you guys are getting from doing your wellness check-ins. Tons and tons of information here. So you can scroll through all of these. Like I said, we're publishing new ones each day. So be sure to check those out and explore those a little bit more. I'm going to turn it over to Byron so he can pick a winner and share some more announcements.
Hey, thanks so much, Case. Appreciate that. And wow, what a powerful little call we've had today. This is amazing. Great information across the board, as we've heard from Dr. Sharp, and then being able to hear from Blake. Thank you for going out there and showing the value of what we're doing here. And I love that. You said, no matter what other rewards there are, I mean, how do you put a price tag on being able to know where you're at, being able to be healthier, and just be rewarded as a byproduct of that? So, so amazing. And that's why, I truly believe everybody can benefit from the G Plus app because of what this is doing. And another thing I love about that is we're looking at this thing on a case by case scenario. Whenever you're looking at just a whole group of people or we're all not created equal. I mean, we all have different needs. And I love the fact that we are doing things that work for us. We have a chance to be able to use blockchain, use this technology, use AI to be able to individualize this for people and point that out to every single person. So powerful. Thank you so much again for being out there and sharing. And I love that once you find something good, like you're going and you're sharing it with people that you care about. And that's another key component to what's going on here. Why I know Galvan is going to continue to grow and this community is going to continue to grow because we're trying to leave people better than we found them. If they have that drive and they want to implement these things in their lives, they're not going to be let down, which I love. And speaking about being let down, at the very beginning of this call, I talked about, being able to be a part of something that's powerful, that we can trust, that has transparency. And I don't know, but I would bet that every person that's listening has probably been in a scenario before where you went and did what you were supposed to do. You kind of did your part, but somebody else didn't do their part. Somebody else maybe kind of let you down. I remember years ago, after my first opportunity where I had a multimillionaire kind of grab me by the arm, mentor me, and show me how to open up businesses overseas, international markets, and do all of this stuff. And I remember when I was taking that information and going and trying to implement it in other areas of my life, I found some products that were really making a difference and started taking it to everybody that I cared about. And I was doing everything right. We were expanding internationally. And I remember getting that phone call that even though I did everything that I was supposed to do, the company was mismanaged. They didn't quite have the vision and they were going to shut it down and everybody was going to be hurt because of it. And I was more than frustrated. There's something that we don't get back, and that's time. And I think that every single person, I mean, we're seeing this just in different industries right now where people are going out and building things. You probably just barely heard of Isogenics changing things. You've heard of Beachbody. You've heard of all these other companies that are changing, or affiliate marketers that are going out there and doing their part and not getting compensated because, everybody wants to be an influencer and there's another one right behind them. And there's more and more of this going on. And so the distrust right now is at an all-time high. And yet we're here and it's all based on trust. It's all based on transparency. And that's not just a cliche statement. That's not just something that I'm saying, but because of what we're building this foundation on, it's a reality. It's just how it is. And so if we're going to be putting the time and energy into something, don't we want, one, to be able to make an impact, two, be able to have that trust and that transparency and be able to know that as we go out there and try to help people, as we go to try to make a difference, as we build this community, things aren't just going to be changed on us like that, because that happens so many times. We're seeing it again and again and again. I'm watching tens of thousands of families at a time be disrupted because one person made a decision to change everything that was not agreed upon when everything first started. That's not what it was, what it was supposed to be. And yet here somebody is now having things taken from them when all they wanted to do is go out there and do their end of the deal. And so I'm telling you right now, there is disruption in the marketplace. And that's one of the reasons why this is going to continue to win, because we have that it's not about me. You don't have to trust me. You don't have to just trust Dr. Sharp or anybody else. We have the ability to build a community together where it's the community directing this. It's the community that gives us that empowerment, and we can move and direct this blockchain and where we're going. And the transactions are transparent. So I love that. That's what we're doing, because I believe we're all going to work hard at what we do anyway. So if we're going to work hard at what we do anyway, how about let's do something in a place where the rug cannot just be pulled out from under us just because somebody mismanaged, because somebody didn't believe, because of the, let's do something in a scenario where we have it, and if we all come together, how do we not win? That's what I love about what we're doing here. So, as we do these actions all make a difference. And that's one of the reasons why we're rewarding for the simple action of just doing, a swap, of just going out there and swapping and getting eyes and believing and understanding that this token, this reward that's being created here, is going to have value as we continue to grow. We're not going to promise what it's going to do or anything like that. But here's what we do know. As we continue to grow, it's impossible really for it not to. I mean, as this community grows, that's what makes the value of everything that we're doing here grow. So it comes down to us. So what I want to do is I'm going to figure out who our winner is, who our lucky winner is from this last week. And let's come up here and just see. So I'm going to do between 1 and, let's see, I believe it was 1 and 17. And I'm going to put a randomizer in here. And let's see who the winner was this last week. So boom. Oops, let's see if this is going to work. Generate. Lucky number 13. Lucky number 13 is who is going to get their swap, the eyes that they swapped, doubled because of Galvan. So let's turn it over to you, Case. Who's the lucky winner?
Carice L.
Carice?
I'll send her an email right now.
Fabulous. Congratulations, Carice, for going out there and just understanding the power of just doing the swap. And I love that we can do it right in the Galvan app. And there's a few things that I'm not even going to mention until it's out, but we're going to continue to expand what can be done in the Galvan wallet. The swap didn't exist, a month or so ago. And there's new things that are going to be introduced that I know you're going to love. Okay. And you're going to see it's just going to make everything easier and easier. We continually progress here. And that's what happens when a lot of people come together and use their talents together to make this community better. So all we got to do is you got to go and, like Casey talked about, go and swap for eyes, either in our wallet or MetaMask or somewhere else. And you're going to submit that. You can do that right in your Galvan account. As Casey showed, there's a pop-up there. You can go back and watch this again too on social media or whatever and see. But there's so many chances doing. We're going to do this every week. So if somebody swapped $20 worth of eyes, if they win, they get an additional 20. If somebody swapped $50 worth of eyes or anything else, no matter what the swap is, that's what's being doubled. So as you can see here, there is a URL that you can click on and get more information on that. But what an amazing time to be alive. I mean, I just love that more than anything, guys, we have a chance to give people hope. We have a chance to give people opportunities and options that otherwise wouldn't exist if this community didn't exist. So I'm grateful for those that saw the vision, that were willing to invest the, millions and millions of dollars to get it to this point that we didn't have to invest into it, to hand over to the community to then go out there and build something special. That's exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what's happening here. So thank you all for tuning in today. I want to thank everybody who participated. Obviously, I want to thank our special guest once again. Blake Williams Sr., thank you so much for being on here, sharing your story, and being an example of what can happen when we just take control and be able to see that. And as we talk about, we know that things that are tracked, we can improve upon. And so that's what the G Plus app allows us to do. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm Byron Belka, and I'm a Galvanator. Take care. We'll see you.